There are a ton of amazing places to live in and around Grand Rapids, Michigan. And today, we're going to take a few moments and we're going to explore one of my favorites, Plainfield Township. Now, when we start to look at Plainfield Township, we are going to see that the average price point over the past 12 months in the area is $341,000. While it's not super cheap, it's definitely one of our more affordable areas over here in West Michigan. And with Plainfield Township, even as it is one of our more affordable choices, you'll find out it doesn't skimp when it comes to quality and value as a place to live. And so we're going to go ahead and we'll spend a few minutes and we'll talk about distance, because a lot of times people want to know, hey Nick, how far to get to certain things? There's three things that we always take a look at for any of our cities in this video. Number one, how long would it take to get to downtown Grand Rapids? If you were going to see a concert, if you were going to have a really nice dinner, if you were going to go to, hey, maybe you're going to the Monster Truck Show downtown at the Van Andel Arena, it's only going to take you about 13 minutes to get to that Monster Truck Show. So definitely know that you have a nice, easy ride into downtown if you're looking at Plainfield Township. Now, the next piece we always look at is, are we going to be able to make it to Lake Michigan in a fair amount of time? Here in West Michigan, people love to go to the beach here on Lake Michigan, and so it's going to be about a 50-minute ride in order to get to the beach at Tunnel Park, and that is fair amount of time, just a little bit under an hour. But if you want to make it to the beach, if you want those sandy dunes, well worth it, not too long to wait. When it comes to the airport, if you're flying out on vacation, something around that era, we're probably looking about a 30-minute ride from Plainfield Township in order to get to the airport. So not too bad when it comes to an airport ride, right in the middle. Next thing we always take a look at in these videos is the school ratings. And this is the one where people think, well, this is a more affordable area, right? So it's probably not a great school system. Sorry, not in Plainfield Township. We're looking at an A school rating. Fantastic educational opportunities over at Plainfield. When it comes to neighborhood description, I will say this, Plainfield has a tremendous variety. In some areas, there's small mansions in the woods. In some areas, they're just regular blocked out 50, 60, 70 style neighborhoods. And in some areas, a lot of it is just really cool places, even in and around the river in that area. So a ton of variety, a lot of different architecture, and a real wide spread on when homes were built in Plainfield Township. It isn't one of these things where everything has been built in the past 10 years, but it also is a place that steadily does get new construction and a ton of opportunity for new construction in the area. So another one, great positive, definitely worth checking out. If I had to kind of give a little bit of a downfall, a little bit of scarcity on this one, it would definitely be grocery stores. Plainfield Township, in its exact borders, only has the family fare. However, if you go to Comstock Park next door, there is a ton of variety, and it's only maybe a mile or two away from the majority of the area. So you're not super far away, even though in Plainfield, it's just the family fare. Just in the city next door, we have a Meijer. We also are looking at a Walmart. We're also seeing there's a Sam's Club in there. So for the most part, anything that you want to get is just within a few miles grocery-wise when it comes to Plainfield Township. Okay, in this part of the video, we always want to kind of take a look. What are some of the fun things to do? What are some of the public amenities in the area? Lutton Park is one that's definitely worth checking out. And the reason why is this park has 9.7 miles of internal trails in the park. Really, really cool place to go. If you're into hiking, if you're into nature, definitely check it out. Also, we have Versailles Park, which has a playground area. It's also got beach volleyball. It's got courts. It's got a fishing pier. It's got a mile of paved trail. Maybe you're not ready to deal with the bumps and all that kind of stuff on some of our more rugged trails. If you're like me and you like to bike ride too, paved trail might be the move for you, and that's definitely a park worth checking out. We also have Premier Park, one of the largest parks in the area, and of course it has mountain biking, it has hiking, it has access to the soccer fields, there's a BMX track on there, and there's also a fishing pier for that one. So it is another one that is well worth checking out. And there's also the Proven Trails, and that one is a 46-acre park. No Notice a lot of the parks here versus having the tennis courts, that stuff, a lot of it is very nature oriented in these parks. A lot of them are connected into some of the small rivers in the area, and it makes for just a really, really great experience. When I talk about all my cities, I definitely want to talk about one of my favorite free amenities for everyone. That is the KDL, or the Kent District Libraries. And if you are a member of one of the KDL libraries, it means you have an active membership to all of the KDL libraries. So no doubt that we also have one over in Plainfield Township. Beautiful building, well worth checking out. Of course, you have tons of books, movies, all kinds of different things to choose from in the KDL. Plus, they also still do a lot of different events through the library. So whether it's book sales, or of course the bookmobile still comes around, all that different type of stuff, and a lot of free events for the kids at the libraries. I love the KDL library system, and I always try to include them in the cities that have KDLs, which is quite a few in our area, because we do value education here in West Michigan, and it's a great place to spend an afternoon at the Kent District Library. When we start to get into some of the things to do, I have to say, Plainfield Township has some heavy hitters with things to do. And I'm going to start with the first, my favorite, number one. Plainfield Township is home to Whitecaps baseball. Here in West Michigan, we have a AA baseball team. They are a feeder team for the Detroit Tigers, and they are the West Michigan Whitecaps. And in Plainfield Township, there is a wonderful ballpark to support the Whitecaps. A ton of seating, a ton of different places, just like if you were to go to Detroit and check out the Tigers, but just slightly scaled down. It is a top-notch baseball stadium. And of course, the Whitecaps, they are one of my favorite teams in the area. So if you get a moment, no question, take in a game, spend a little time with the Whitecaps. One of the things I will say this too, I love this about the Whitecaps, and it's maybe not necessarily them, but it's definitely the park over in that area. One of the things that they do in the winter is they convert the entire parking lot of the Whitecaps Stadium into a Christmas light show that is a drive-through. And it's not just a 5-second thing. They literally have an entire path that goes almost a mile, and it's completely covered in animated lights. They have these big arches filled with lights in there. I go with my family every single year. There can be a little bit of a line, and there is a fee to get through and see the light show, but I would recommend it to anyone. If you're in the holiday season, spend a little bit of time while the light show is going on over at the ballpark, and definitely drive through. It's a super fun evening. My kids have always loved it, and I think you guys would really enjoy doing it just the same as well. I love dealing with the Whitecaps as an organization. It's a fun place to go. It's definitely worth checking out for everybody out there. Next, as we get into things to do, and this is funny because it's literally right next door to the Whitecaps Stadium, and that is AJ's Family Fun Center. Now, AJ's Family Fun Center would be comparable to maybe Craig's Cruisers is another place in this area that we've talked about in these videos would be like it. AJ's Fun Center is definitely a cool place. They have mini golf, and they have a really cool mini golf course. It's not one of these chintzy ones where you just have a few little obstacles. It's a really cool place. Landscaped, built into the side of the hill. Really cool place to check out. Of course, they also have video games, all that kind of fun stuff in there. They also have the bumper boats, they have batting cages, and of course, they have the go-karts. So, if you have a chance, maybe you're a little early for the baseball game, go ahead, pop next door and spend an hour, hour and a half playing video games, bumper boats, and mini golf at AJ's Family Fun Center. It's a cool place to go, no doubt about that. As we get into maybe some more of the traditional things to do over here in this area, maybe you want a slower pace, a little bit of quiet, a little bit of that natural beauty. Thousand Oaks Golf Course is definitely the place to check out for you. Thousand Oaks, beautiful course, well worth checking out. And then just a few miles down the road is the Scott Lake Golf and Practice Center as well. Again, highly manicured, really, really nice course. Well worth checking out if you have some time over in that area. So A lot of cool things to do in that area. Maybe instead you're looking for something a little more physical and you might want to take a lesson in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the Kraken Jiu-Jitsu Center over in the area. Another cool place to check out. Of course, it will teach you new skills, helps to keep you fit. Definitely a cool thing to do if you're located in Plainfield Township. One of the things that we always try to look at in these videos as well is what are some of the unique restaurants. Now, I'm not going to touch base on all the chain restaurants in the area because most of you have been to these places. They're everywhere. You don't need another Applebee's to hear about that kind of thing. But what I do want to do is I want to talk about some of the one-off, some of the unique, some of the family-owned places. And to start here in Plainfield Township, I'm going to get the fancy pants on and we're going to talk about the Blue Water. And the Blue Water is just right off the lake. I've actually been there a few times myself. Amazing food and a great view over in this restaurant. Blue Water is well worth your time to check out. The menu is constantly rotating and you're seeing new and different stuff seasonally in this restaurant. But if you're looking for a nice place, maybe it's a date night, maybe your parents or in-laws are coming in, this is a wonderful place to take them for a nice sit-down dinner and really have a beautiful view and enjoy your time together. Of course, from there is also the Score, which is a little bit more of a sports bar. Maybe you're going to have a little bit more of a casual evening, a few drinks. Of course, we know the Lions are finally starting to win. Maybe you're going to catch a game. Maybe even the Whitecaps are getting broadcast at that stage. You might want to check it out from there. But no doubt that that is another place, the Score, a great place to go and check out. There's also Lucy's, and Lucy's is a great spot if you're interested in brunch. I know brunch is the big thing with the young people today, and Lucy's was voted number 12 on best brunches as far as the nation goes. So definitely a cool place to check out, definitely worth time and energy when it comes to that. Another one that I think is worth mentioning, it's kind of a cool fun place, is Shots Bar, and it's right there on the river. So again, another one with a cool view. Shots has been a very popular place for a long time. I want to say they're almost 20 years, maybe a little over, on being in business, and definitely a hot spot for the locals. Another cool one to check out. Maybe you're having a little bit of dinner there too, because Shots is a bar, but it's definitely a bar and a restaurant. Hamburgers, chicken, all that kind of normal stuff that you might find at a place like that. Again, we start to get into one of our favorite things here in West Michigan, and that is Mexican food. And we of course have Tacos El Cogundo over there in Plainfield Township. Definitely a cool place to check out. If you're into Mexican food, it will give you a little bit of variety out there in the area. So I really appreciate you guys spending the time with me and really exploring Plainfield Township. However, that doesn't mean that there's not something I missed. And if you noticed something that wasn't on this video that should have been, leave me a comment below and tell me what I might have missed. I love to hear the comments from you guys on what your favorite things in these areas are as well. If you yourself or your family might be thinking about changing location, looking for a new home, reach out to me. My information is in the description below, and I would be honored to help your family in the search for the home that fits them best at this stage of life. So thanks for joining me today, and remember to like and subscribe so we can make sure to keep you informed as our new videos are coming out about Grand Rapids and the West Michigan area. Thanks for joining me, and thank you guys so much for supporting my videos. It means the world to me.